I kicked my secret crush's car by mistake, and he wouldn't let go. It was raining. I was on my way to work on the scooter. My rain poncho leaked and soaked my neck. And the second I spotted that familiar BMW in front of Vance, I hauled off and kicked it 3 times hard. Same mom, same dad. So how come Qin Lang gets to cruise around in a Beamer while I'm stuck riding Emma's scooter? Then the driver's door opened and the guy who stepped out made my scalp tingle. I just booted the wrong car. Your brother only mentioned you'd gone abroad for school. He never said you survived on hot peppers the whole time. Luna, 3 years. And this is the new personality package. See a car, kick a car. One ridiculous, an heiress forced to commute on a moped. If word got out, I'd never live it down. A luxury sedan whooshed past and drenched my poncho with gutter water. The plate number registered and I hissed. Qin Lang, you absolute mutt. Who treats their little sister like this? Of course trouble never travels alone. A block from Vance, I felt an icy drip on my neck. My poncho had sprung a leak. Furious and half-drowned, I wheeled Emma's scooter into the basement bike dock, and there sat Qin Lang's car. I stomped over, hands on hips. You wash my scooter with road water, so I'll baptize your precious BMW. How about that? The door clicked open. Qin Lang just sat there, but the man who unfolded an umbrella was the one who made my pupils vibrate. Ethan. Of course it's Ethan. I glanced at the license plate and the sky fell in. Oh crap, wrong car. I spun to bolt, but mom had bought me an extra long poncho to cover the whole front end. My heel snagged the hem and I face planted. Poncho flopping over my head like a soggy burrito. Now the front of me matched the back, soaked, plus a fresh mud mask courtesy of the puddle. 2 polished loafers stopped in front of me. Gentle hands lifted me up. Your brother said you went overseas for school, not that you subsisted on chili peppers. Luna, 3 years and now you assault innocent cars? I wanted to die. How to explain that I'd meant to vandalize my brother's ride? Still criminal. Just less embarrassing. I clasped my palms together in apology. Ethan. The name slipped out and his breath hitched. Goosebumps raced up my arms. How long since I'd said it? 3 years. The last time was at the airport, screaming into my phone, Ethan, I take it back. I don't like you anymore. So stop avoiding me. Now I wanted to yell, bless your future with my brother, just spare my life, okay? Ethan's brows crashed together. His face went storm dark. What did you just say? I panicked, old reflex. I never could predict what would flip his switch. I didn't know you had a thing for Qin Lang when I confessed. Sorry, and I really thought this was his car. Didn't realize you two bought matching love mobiles. He looked 1 syllable short of laughter. Grabbing the scruff of my poncho, he hauled me toward the lobby. I was dripping like a spaniel. Let me park my scooter first. He paused, then tugged harder. Inside Vance he beelined for Qin Lang's office. Ordered the secretary to fetch me a fresh towel, and only then did his scowl soften. Silence ballooned. I studied him on the sofa. 3 years. 0 change. Still the same clear sky elegance. Stupidly handsome. Long legs for days. Fingers drumming the table in thinly veiled irritation. Qin Lang walked in, eyed the puddle forming around my sneakers, and grimaced. Luna, could you not flood my carpet? Then he noticed Ethan and blinked. Ethan, what brings you here? Ethan's tone stayed flat. Qin Lang, does your family practice medieval favoritism? You arrive in a BMW while your sister rides a moped through monsoon season. What if her poncho snags in the wheel at a red light and a truck catapults her into next week? Comfortable with that image? I squirmed. Was he rehearsing my eulogy? Qin Lang snorted. So you burst in to defend her honor. Fine. Buy her a car if it offends you. The room went dead quiet. I tiptoed toward the exit. Couples quarrel. None of my business. 3 mercifully. Fellow wage slaves rallied. By the time I clocked out, the sky had cleared and my mood soared. Simple worker bee happiness. No rain on the ride home. I threw a leg over Emma's scooter, twisted the throttle, and almost bulldozed Ethan, who stood with the front wheel wedged between his knees like a very stylish gate. I killed the motor and hopped off. Ethan, I didn't see you. Are you hurt? He stared at the basket-mounted speaker. You ride while blasting K-pop. Modern miracle, you're still breathing. I flushed. Why are you lurking? Waiting for Qin Lang. So devoted. No wonder he shot me down flat. A pang of vinegar still bubbled up. He rolled his eyes. I'm waiting for you. Car shopping? Let's go. My brain blue screened. Only when he strode toward the garage did I realize he'd taken Qin Lang's taunt as binding contract. Wait. My family has cars. No discrimination. I'm grounded from them because of a tiny screw-up. That's all. He studied my face for lies. Then exhaled. Fine. I'll drive you home tonight. Deliver you here tomorrow. No arguments. He marched off. I scurried behind like a damp chick. Ethan, are you this sweet to every little sister type? He stopped short. I face-planted into his rock-hard back. Without turning he said, I don't have any little sisters, only you. The line singed my ear tips. Watching him walk away, I tried to shake the fuzz from my head. head. Falling for Ethan had always been effortless. Since childhood, I'd known my brother's best friend as the golden benchmark, gentle, gorgeous, reliable. When Qin Lang jumped out to scare me, Ethan intervened. In high school, while classmates plastered lockers with boy band posters, my best friend handed me a sketchbook and asked which idol I liked. After 2 periods of deliberation, I returned it blank. None of them beat Ethan. I realized I was a goner that afternoon, and for 5 whole years I nursed a quiet, hopeless crush. The day I turned 20 I confessed. I still remember the complicated shine in Ethan's eyes when he answered, "Luna, I only ever saw you as a little sister. You're still young. Maybe you're mixing up dependency with a crush. You should really think about what you actually feel for me." For the entire month that followed, he dodged me like I was a collection notice. After I finished losing my mind, I boarded a plane for college abroad. 3 whole years passed without me asking a single soul about him. Ethan stopped, turned, and looked at me. The 3 years might as well have never happened. He waved that same gentle, helpless wave I remembered. "What are you doing standing there like a lost puppy? Get in." For I was halfway into the seat when my brother shouted after me, "Ethan, quit spoiling her. She screwed up. Mom's punishing her by making her ride the e-bike. And here you are chauffeuring her around." I'd been waffling, but that line flipped a switch. I roll. Butt in. I did not, however, budget for how shameless my brother is. He'd driven to work himself, but still squeezed in behind me. "Why are you climbing in, Logan?" He glared. "Mind your business. I'm beat. I'm hitching a ride with my buddy." "So what? Keep yapping and I'll tell Mom you cheated on your punishment. Enjoy another month on 2 wheels." I ground my teeth. Useless against him. Ethan eased the car forward. His fingers are stupidly pretty. Even resting on the wheel, they look like a magazine ad. I zoned out staring, until Logan's obnoxious voice cut through the soft pop track. "So, how's your little secret crush working out?" My eyes went saucer-wide. Is he doing this on purpose? I played dead, but the man has 0 EQ and just kept poking. "You came home the other night before I could grill you. Didn't you say that guy ended up liking dudes?" Anyone I'd know? The car hit a pothole. My face went nuclear. Talking trash and getting caught red-handed? Peak embarrassment. That night the avatar he hadn't changed in 3 years pinged me on WhatsApp, 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. "I'll pick you up. P.S. I don't like guys. And I definitely don't like your brother." I wailed into my pillow and buried my phone. Gossiping in private is one thing. The subject reading the group chat receipts is another. I ranted to my best friend till after midnight, then trudged downstairs with luggage under my eyes. Ethan acted like nothing happened, handed me breakfast, and dropped the passenger window with practiced ease. He hates people eating in his car, except me. Back in senior year, Logan once made him drive me to school. I skipped breakfast, was too scared to leave crumbs, and passed out cold from low blood sugar mid-intersection. Thinking back, of course Ethan didn't like me. He's a highlight reel of every cringe moment I've ever had. I tore into my brake which, whatever, dislike me all you want. I'd rehearsed a polite speech. Drop me advance. Then no more favors. If it isn't raining, I'm actually decent on an e-scooter. But the shed was empty. I circled 3 times before admitting the ugly truth. Someone had stolen Emma's scooter. I picked up the grimy yellow rain poncho abandoned on the ground and bawled. Who steals a scooter and ditches the poncho? Heartless. Ethan startled, then fumbled to comfort me. Don't cry. We'll buy you a new one right now. He piloted his BMW to the Emma dealership, crisp suit and all, and swept a hand over the rows of scooters. "Pick whichever you like. I'm buying outright today." The dealer rolled his eyes so hard I feared for his retinas. What a show-off. I wanted to evaporate. Who fed him those romance novels while I was gone? He picked a lavender model, and the "you're like a sister" line echoed in my head. Sister thinks purple is sexy. Get a grip, Luna. I shoved the thought away and petted the glossy fender. Girls are simple. Pretty and new equals pure dopamine. Car or scooter? I tugged his sleeve. Giddy. Valentine. You've never ridden on the back of one of these, have you? I gloated. Ivy League polish and a scooter don't normally share a sentence. I patted the tiny passenger pad. Hop on. Experience the people's chariot. The seat dipped behind me. 0 surprise. Ethan can be frosty, but he's never once rained on my parade. A guy that indulgent. Falling for him was almost mandatory. Wind smacked our cheeks, and I was soaring. For once he wasn't the driver. He was riding bitch with me. Joy lasted 3 seconds. Red and blue lights flashed ahead. Helmets? The traffic cop asked. Eyebrows sky high. 5 my toes tried to mine diamonds under the asphalt. That crooked salesman had promised free helmets. Saw Ethan swipe his black card. And I forgot to mention it. I whipped out my phone. "Officer, we'll just pay the fine." He gently pushed my hand down. "Nope. 1 hour roadside timeout. First unhelmeted pigeon you catch replaces you." punishment plus public service. I felt boot-printed. Come again? He repeated himself. I tried reason. Sir, we're happy to pay. He turned stonewall. Ethan, meanwhile, snapped to parade rest and tugged my sleeve. Luna, do what the officer says. The cop glanced from Ethan's tailored suit to my mortified face. Are these two for real? Dude, S may be 25 and they keep calling me uncle. I had zero clue the honorific was the problem. We'd stood there forever when my ringtone blasted. I picked up. Logan's screech could have cracked crystal. Luna, it's your third day, already playing hooky. Kiss your allowance. Goodbye. Ethan plucked the phone from my hand. Logan, we're stuck in bliss, bolted wheel. Could you bring a wrench? Alley's too tight for cars, so ride your e-scooter. I watched him hang up, mouth twitching. No way Logan buys that lame excuse. Right. 20 minutes later, he roared up hefting a pipe wrench, and I questioned our entire gene pool. I'd never seen Ethan look this smug. Spotting helmetless Logan, he grinned like a fox. Officer, we bagged another one. Are we free to go? The cop nodded, confiscated Logan's scooter, and delivered the same sentence. Stand here till you fish up the next bareheaded rider. Logan's jaw hit the pavement. Then he exploded. Ethan, you absolute mutt. You set me up. The officer gave him a pitying look. Collateral damage in a lover's spat. Kid, I aspirated my own saliva. Cheeks hotter than the midday asphalt. Lovers? Logan rolled his eyes. Please, they're not. Hold up. He squinted at me. Wait, aren't you supposed to be at work? Why is Ethan babysitting you in the middle of bliss? Then, sharper, Luna, why are you tomato red? I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Ethan pulled me behind him. Your sister's scooter vanished. And you didn't even notice. I brought her to replace it. This is how your family treats your only girl? Guilt smacked Logan silent. He actually hadn't registered how I'd commuted. He grabbed a random company car and bolted. Hello? I was mid-meme scroll at my desk when Logan summoned me to his office. He slapped a folder down and studied me like a bug under glass. You and Ethan have beef? I shook my head. Weird, he muttered, rubbing his chin. What's wrong? They asked for you on the project? Specifically. I shook my head like a hand drum. I can't crawl out of bed at 7 a.m. Count me out. My brother didn't care. Tell that to Ethan, not me. I FaceTimed him. I just clocked out, and now you want overtime. 7 in the morning is inhuman, no way. Before he could answer, I hung up. Next dawn, half asleep, I smelled a scent both familiar and foreign drifting over me. I peeled my eyes open, and nearly wet the bed. Nobody wants to wake up to a gorgeous guy perched on the quilt, no matter how pretty the face. Ethan, what the hell? I glared. Who said you could waltz into my room? Then it hit me. I sleep in next to nothing. I squealed, whipped a pillow at his head. Out, now. After the fire drill, I yanked the door open, black-faced. Mom, why'd you let him in? She blinked. Innocent. What's the big deal? He's always done it. Not anymore. I raked my hair. Before, maybe, but I'd already crashed and burned my confession. Ethan had bailed mid-awkward. I hopped on the Emma scooter he'd bought yesterday and zipped to Vance. Brain fogged all morning. A knuckle tapped my forehead. Ethan again. He held out a cupcake box. Sorry about this morning. I assumed you'd throw on clothes. I slapped my hand over his mouth and hissed. We're at Vance, trying to kill me. His eyes seemed to laugh harder. He peeled my fingers away. You're that shy. You're dressed. Nothing I haven't seen since we were 6. Want equal time. I can strip. My jaw dropped. When had Ethan gone full frat boy? I kicked without thinking. A gasp snapped me back. A coworker stood nearby, hands over mouth, eyes sparkling with gossip. Ethan stayed deadpan. I panicked. He has a weird kink. He likes getting kicked, I blurted. Her eyes saucered. Ethan paused one beat, then nodded. Yeah. One more, please. My latte almost jumped ship. 7 when his BMW slid to the curb again. I frowned. Ethan, I'm legal. I don't need a chauffeur. He ignored me, flicking the volume. Sweet guitar filled the car. Birthday soon. What do you want? I stared at his fingers. Words just fell out. You'll really give me anything? Silence slammed down. Music gone. I scrambled to backpedal. I mean, anything you want. The words hit like a gong. I felt both sour and fizzy. Crushes are ridiculous. One sentence and your brain shorts out. I sucked in air. Heart hammering. No dissecting that line. Not after he'd nuked me last time. He probably didn't even know how flirty it sounded. Surprise me. I shrugged. But no cars. The act collapsed the second I burst through my door. I face planted on the bed, palms over my traitor heart, still his. How could it not be? What did he mean? I spammed my bestie. She fired back. He's so into you. My grin kept widening. By the end, I felt even was below my league. Let alone Ethan. I sauntered out humming, already planning planning how many rejections it would take to even the score. My brother Qin lounged on the couch, brow raised. Somebody's sunny. When I'm happy I don't feed trolls. So I spun to leave. He stopped me. Hey, what should I wear to my blind date this week? I looked him up and down. A collar. Because you're a dog. He rolled his eyes. No wonder your crush ghosted you. I'm basically Ethan Light. If someone picked him, they could pick me. My feet froze. Dizziness slapped me. What did you just say? Ethan's dating around? He eyed me. Who's your real sibling here? We're 28. Of course we date. Wait till mom hunts you down in 3 years. I don't remember walking back to my room. In the mirror my eyes were red. Flashback to 3 years ago. How do you trip over the same rock twice? Luna. 8. He dangles one crumb and I come running. Cheap and predictable. Next sunrise. Pounding on the door. Mom, Luna. You sick? Ethan's here. Qin says you called in. I burrowed under the quilt. I knew he lingered outside. Hiding solved nothing, but I couldn't face him. Mom. 5 more minutes. Footsteps retreated. I texted Qin, pull me off the project. I just want to finish my internship at Vance in peace. I blocked him before he could reply. 3 days hold up at home. On the 4th. Obligation dragged me back. HR said no show equals quit. And dad would freeze my allowance if I got myself fired from our own company. In the corner Emma Scooter waited, looking smug. He's loaded. Other girls get BMWs and Birkins. I get an e-scooter. He clearly rates me bargain bin. I kicked it over, then shamefacedly picked it up and rode to work. I vowed to grab a can of spray paint tomorrow and rewrap the whole thing. I came out at dusk. Emma Scooter had vanished again. My vision blurred. Ethan must be cursed. Before him I never lost a ride. And Qin the cheapskate. Can't Vance install one lousy camera? Tears leaked. I swiped them, trudging ahead. A BMW purred to the curb. Familiar steps followed. I scrubbed my face and marched faster. Bike's gone. Where exactly are you walking? Get in. I shot him a glare. None of your business. I'm walking home. He snorted a laugh. What tantrum is this? Tantrum. When have I ever? And that tone, like I'm a toddler. Exactly how he rejected me. You're still a kid. Fury lit. I kept stone-faced. He idled beside me, window down. Hop in. Once we hit the boulevard, I'll have to stay in the traffic lanes. Of course I know traffic rules. Jerk. I ignored him. Then his phone buzzed. Quit pouting. Okay, we'll grab a new scooter tomorrow. You'll walk till dawn at this rate. He answered the phone through the car's Bluetooth while he was still talking, and a sweet female voice floated out of the speaker. I instantly felt 10 times more pathetic. Mind your own business. Will you? Don't you have a life? You're at my house every day like duct tape. You claim I'm your little sister. Well, newsflash, I already have a brother, and his name is Calvin. I don't need another psycho big brother. Thanks. I knew I'd crossed the line, but I was furious. The whole day had been one long humiliation. I didn't even look at Ethan's face. I spun around, yanked open the door of the nearest yellow cab, and slid inside. 9. My phone rang before the taxi had gone 2 blocks. Ethan. I let every call die. Then a WhatsApp ping. Luna. We need to talk. Ethan hardly ever uses my full name. When he does, my stomach free falls. This time I hovered my thumb over the delete button, squeezed my eyes shut, and pressed. The phone rang again. I assumed it was Ethan, but the screen made me pause. It was a guy from college, Matt, who'd once grilled me about my best friend's favorite snacks. According to her, he's been campaigning hard for a date. I picked up. He asked if I was free tomorrow to help him pick a Valentine's gift for her. My first instinct was no. Shopping one-on-one with a dude. Awkward. But he begged like a puppy, promised a steak, swearing he'd slip me a fat red envelope if I helped. My allowance was basically oxygen at this point, so I sold my bestie out. Next morning, he pulled up on a matte black motorcycle. For a second, through the visor, I thought I saw Ethan's BMW parked across the street. Too early. I told myself. After the tantrum I threw yesterday, no way he'd show. I shook off the thought, only to collide with the universe's favorite joke. The more you dodge something, the faster it smacks you in the face. When I spotted Ethan leaning against the plate glass window of Bella, my blood flash froze. I'd known about his arranged dates. I'd even told myself he didn't like me, but watching him help another woman into a wedding gown, that was a whole new stab wound. So it's serious, I thought, throat burning. Then I caught myself. Why did I care? Guys his age don't do a casual, once matchmaking moms get involved. I swallowed the sting in my eyes, pivoted, and dragged Matt inside. After we bought my best friend the designer bag she's been drooling over, my mood lifted. Where else would she find a wingwoman this devoted? Matt offered me a ride home. Saving cab fare sounded genius, until I walked through the front gate and found Calvin lounging on the porch steps and Ethan parked on the living room sofa, thunderclouds rolling across his face. I waved Matt off, then headed for my room. Calvin's voice followed me, dripping mischief. Look at that, our little cabbage's about to get rolled by some random pig. I tried to ignore him, but the tone scraped my last nerve. I whipped around. Who says he's not the cabbage? Calvin's grin turned wicked. Wow. Volunteering to be the pig? I was done. I spun away, and an iron grip closed around my forearm. Ethan's voice was low, edged with something dangerous. You've ghosted me all week so you could play cozy with a college boy? 10. I almost laughed. He'd been wedding dress shopping, and he wanted to interrogate me. I jerked free. Excuse me, aren't you the one getting married? Calvin's head swiveled like a spectator at Wimbledon. A dude. You're tying the knot. When was I not invited? We both ignored him. Ethan's brows drew tighter. Who says I'm getting married? I hadn't planned to explain, but his wounded puppy look ignited me. Oh, I dunno. Maybe the guy at Bella 2 hours ago holding a wedding gown for some girl. Ethan blinked. Oddly calm for a guy just called a dog. 2 hours ago. Light dawned. A slow smile curved his mouth. That was my cousin. Her boyfriend's car died, so I gave her a lift. You thought I was the groom? His eyes softened. Luna, are you jealous? My heart ricocheted. We'd been circling each other for months, but I'd never imagined he'd call it out under Calvin's roof. Who's jealous? I stammered. Calvin finally caught the frequency. Hold up, Ethan. What exactly are you saying? Why would my sister be jealous? I jabbed a finger at Calvin. And you said he went on a blind date. Ethan lifted both hands. My dad tricked me. I left before the appetizers. Didn't even add her on WhatsApp. Check if you want. He thrust his phone toward me. Calvin's eyes bulged. Okay. Why are you two talking like a soap opera? This feels weird. I bit my lip to cage the stupid grin trying to escape. And you? I see you as a little sister. Really? Ethan's smile could power half of Riverdale. I honestly thought I did. The night you confessed. I short-circuited. I didn't reject you. I asked for time to think. Calvin looked like his brain was buffering. Confessed. What confession? Will someone please adopt me into a normal family? I shot him a glare, then turned back to Ethan. So you had a crush, but vanished for 3 years? Ethan looked genuinely sorry. Calvin said you'd flown off to grad school. I messaged you, never got answers. I figured you needed space to focus. I told myself I'd wait until you came home. Blockhead. My heart melted and sulked at the same time. Saying, I like you isn't a ticket to the finish line. You never actually chased me. Calvin threw his hands up. Hello, Earth to lovebirds. I'm still in the room. Do I need to leave and charge admission? Ethan locked eyes with me. I am chasing you. I never stopped. Since when? From the day you landed. I've been sending flowers to your office every week. I replayed the bouquets with no sender card, the ones I'd blamed on hyper-enthusiastic coworker Brad. Ethan rubbed the back of his neck. I've never dated anyone else. You were always the only girl in my orbit. And when you left I realized the truth. No sane brother fantasizes about kissing his sister. I decided to wait, then start over once you were back. Calvin finally exploded. Which one of you is the alleged sister? I feel like the invisible husband in a cheap VR movie. Ethan, are you hitting on my kid's sister? He whirled on me. Your secret crush is Ethan? I looked at Ethan, earnest, infuriating, heart-stopping Ethan, and every lonely year collapsed into dust. I'm not saying yes, yet. I warned. You owe me 3 missing years. I want a do-over. Loud and public. Applications open now. Your covert operation was adorable, but totally undetectable. Ethan nodded like he'd just been handed classified orders. Deal. As long as you let me try, I'll do it your way. Calvin rebooted mid-sentence, mouth flapping uselessly. Next morning the gate buzzed early. I opened it to find Ethan wobbling up the driveway on my Pepto-Pink electric scooter. You stole Emma's scooter? He didn't even blush. You riding the bus alone worries me. Weather's clear, let me drive you. I sprinted down the steps, hopped on behind him, and kicked Calvin's giant BMW as we zipped past. That dinosaur grilled me until 2 a.m., whining that the family pig had finally developed a taste for its own cabbage.